Welcome to a very spooky edition of Morning Edition. Julian Sador, Jason Harper, Annie Satowski, and May K. Beeler here to talk about ghost stories for Halloween. May K, you brought this segment to us, talking about the haunted places. So let's start with ghost stories. Who wants to go first as we sit around the campfire?
Ooh, I got to warm up first.
Yeah. You got to warm up?
Cold. Let me warm up. Yeah.
You want me to start? Yeah.
Why not?
Okay.
You brought us together.
Well, it's kind of sad. I don't want to bring everybody down.
No.
Wow, right out of the gate.
Okay, Mary Kay.
It's real. You can't make this stuff up. So years ago, my cat died, and I found her laying on the grass. And when I went up to her and I realized she had passed, I went to pet her. And what comes up is she's laying down, and now I see a white form of her. It's opaque, and it rises up. It's the form of a cat, and it walks away.
Walks away. Okay.
Oh.
So
What did you feel cool? Did you feel anything? What are you feeling in the moment?
scared. I was very sad,
Right.
but I just felt it was her spirit.
It was
her-
kind of peaceful.
Yeah, like her ethereal body. I think that's what they call it. Does that sound right? Ethereal.
Yeah.
And I guess that would be a ghost, and she walked away. And anyway, so come on, let's talk about other things.
Well,
Lift
I mean,
everybody up.
Talking about
No.
ghosts
Other
and
ghost
spirits
stories.
is inherently talking about death. So I don't know if we're gonna lighten the mood at all.
Uh-oh.
But that is interesting though about your cat. I would have, if that had happened to me, I would have thought that I was having like a stroke or something, or like just kind of had to like rub my eyes.
Yeah.
But
Does everybody believe in ghosts, by the way? Everybody sitting around here?
I do.
You do. Annie believes.
I believe in spirits and like
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
So not
I'm with
ghosts,
you.
but spirits.
Well, I guess what's the difference?
That's a great question.
I
I
do
don't-
believe that there are spirits and that there are entities that are, what is it that they say that, it's like the separation of it depends on your religion too, or what you
Right.
believe happens after death. But you know
Right.
that it's the separation of your spirit and your physical body. Maybe there's a world that you feel like they can't get through. And so they're disconnected. I don't know. There's
I think they
lots
call
of
it the veil, crossing
The veil.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other
Interesting.
side, go to the light.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Well, so that's kind of where my story is. I don't have any other examples except for this happened a couple of years ago. My husband and I used to live in Indian Land in an apartment complex. And I won't name the apartment complex. Very, very nice place. Loved it. Multiple buildings. And, it's a traditional, you walk into the lobby. We had a mailroom. We had lockers, a little seating area. But that's where the elevator was, and the only elevator in the building. We had stairs, of course, for buyers, but we have two black labs. We only had one at that point, Carver, and we took him on multiple walks. Never had a problem going through the mailroom or the elevator, that lobby area. But we had an unfortunate situation where there was an officer-involved shooting in our building. Again, we're talking about death, so it's all going to be sad. But someone who lived a couple floors below me had their family had asked for a welfare check, and authorities had showed up multiple times trying to check on this person. This last time that they came, they got into the apartment, and this person had a lot of guns and shot back at officers. Officers returned fire. So this is my theory, I don't know what happened, but they did have to take this man in the elevator through our lobby to get out to an ambulance. And from where I could see from my balcony and through common areas, that ambulance was sitting there for a long time. So that obviously in news, if you know what that means, they weren't taken to the hospital because they had passed away. So there was blood in our elevator, blood in the lobby floor. So I know that they had come through there. My theory is that this person passed while they were being taken in our elevator through our lobby in the hallways, because my dog would not walk through that lobby or go in the elevator for a couple days after that. And he was just looking up in one particular corner. Like I would come he would go in the elevator, I think, but after that, just like, no. So we had to take the stairs. He would come out and just look in one particular
my
corner.
gosh.
And he would not budge. Like normally, if I drop the leash and I go away, he'll follow me after a period of time, or I can physically push him to go. He was not budging and kept looking up in the corner. Then a couple days after that, every day I would try to go, and then I would just give up and go to the stairs. But then I tried one day and he was fine.
When did you put two and two together?
Pretty quickly, I think, like maybe the second day, because I told my husband, I'm like, Carver will not go through the lobby. I'm like, I don't know what it is. But then he was looking, and we were still kind of rattled because it was obviously like the talk of our little community there. And I'm like, wait a minute, because the fact that he was looking up, animals can see things that we
I
can't.
believe
I
that.
believe that they hear things, that see
Wholeheartedly.
things that we can't. So
Yeah.
I was like, babe, this is what happened.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, I think that's true. So
Oh my god.
that's my one and only story. Again, morbid, but
yeah.
and then he was fine ever since then. Really weird.
Creepy.
I feel like animals can sense. I would agree with you. I was talking about this on the morning show when my Aunt Michelle passed away. About a week later, I'm sitting in the recliner in my apartments before my wife had moved down there, before we were even engaged. I'm just sitting in the recliner, and all of a sudden it gets kind of like, you know that feeling where it's just like something just feels different in the air, right? You just feel something, and all of a sudden Caesar's tail gets poofy. And it's just like he's kind of like looking around, and obviously if anybody knows cats, their tails only get poofy when they get scared or something excites them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, Aunt Michelle, is that you? I'm like, Caesar, is Aunt Michelle here? And his tail stayed poofy, and he kept on looking around, and so I was like, oh my God, my aunt's here to say goodbye. And then his tail went back down, and he went back, and it's just like, okay, she came in to say goodbye. I believe, 100% animals know when there are other spirits. I don't know if ghosts, it's kind of the same idea, like a spirit just trying to say, I'm making my rounds to say goodbye and let you know I'm okay, I'm making it to the other side.
Yeah. Interesting. How long was his tail poofy? Like, how long did that whole thing last?
It's probably like 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay.
4 or 5.
Really?
That's a long time.
It's a lovely visit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was a lovely visit because love never ends.
I believe that.
Love lives on.
There's nothing stranger than, because we have cats too, and I don't have any specific stories where, like I noticed one of the cats looking at something and I related it to something else. But every now and then, especially when I creep down the stairs every morning, at like 2:30, everyone's asleep. And most of the cats are asleep somewhere all over the house, And every now and then you'll just have one that's standing up as if they're ready to be pet, but they're looking off, staring and
that's the
staring at the corner, staring at a wall, and you're like,
what are they looking at?
hello,
Right.
What do they see that I can't see?
Yeah.
That always has me
I
thinking,
hate
like,
that.
this is weird.
No. So they can see into a different dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, cats are good at that too.
That happens when we take our dogs on a walk, sometimes in the dark. They'll just stare off at absolutely nothing. I'm like, okay, we need to go.
I have heard that it's like animals and also babies.
I was gonna say,
Babies have the same thing where whatever
young
it is,
children.
I guess, in like
Young children.
right, and I've heard it's like as you get older, you're right. Well, you start saying, well, that can't be real.
You convince
because
yourself.
you convince yourself because believing otherwise might be too scary. So your brain shuts it off. But little babies, they don't know any better. Animals, for whatever reason, don't know any better. So they can maybe see what we can't.
And I think we get distracted as we get older. We're so worried with work and business and bills, and you're not in a peaceful place to take stuff in.
Yeah.
That's true. All right. Do you guys believe in feng shui and all that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Energy,
Okay.
like energy and vibes and all that.
Yeah.
I don't
sure.
know that,
Well-
I don't know that certain products or whether it's
Furniture
water or furniture. Yeah,
It's
I don't know that puts off a certain frequency or vibe. But if you putting certain things a certain way in your life makes you feel calm
That's the key.
and less distracted, that I believe in.
I'm so glad you guys said that because coming up after the break, I have a story that may make you believe in feng shui. We'll be right back. Welcome back into our very spooky edition of Morning Edition, Ghost Stories. I was telling you guys before the break that I have a story that may make you believe in feng shui.
All right, let's hear it.
So it's kind of Chinese, but also in Japanese, you believe in kind of feng shui. So for people that don't know, my mom is half black, half Japanese, grew up in Japan. And we had a family friend, and her house sat on the corner in our neighborhood. So there's something in feng shui where the situation of the house, it's on the corner, it's like bad luck.
Yeah.
You don't want your house situated on the corner, facing the corner,
Interesting.
for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
Excuse me.
spirits getting
Bad
chased.
bad spirits. Have to get rid of 'em.
So this lady, I'm not going to say her name, lost her husband.
Mm.
and loses her husband, but has a young son. His son was a couple years older than I was. So they're sitting at the dinner table, and one night he says to her, the bathroom door opens, and he goes, "Dad's coming for me." She goes, "What?"
Mhm.
She goes, "That's Dad." Dismisses it. Really weird, right? About a week or 2 weeks later, he's walking home from a party on a road near our house, gets hit by a car.
Hmm.
Whoa.
It gets creepier. So, family friend, my mom is helping her, and I should mention this lady is Japanese.
Mhm.
So my mom calls the house because she was calling, making sure, checking in on her and helping her. A lady picks up the phone in kind of broken English and speaking kind of like almost Japanese, broken English, and calls my mom by her middle name. Nobody knows my mom's middle name except for our family. I'm not even going to say it on here.
Hmm.
And after the phone call, because my mom gets freaked out, she's like, says the woman's name, and
Like to
then
make sure
says,
it's her.
Right. Nothing. My mom gets freaked out, hangs up the phone, calls back, and says, "Was that you?" She goes, "I didn't even hear the phone ring."
Oh.
What?
Oh my gosh.
She moved out of that house, and has since gone back to Japan. But to lose your husband,
Yeah.
then for the incident with her son, and then for my mom to call, and she believes, again, she thought it was her mom, who, by the way, had passed away at that point 4 years ago.
Okay. So your mom thinks that it was
It was her
that
mom.
woman's mom.
No. My mom's mom, my bachan.
Oh.
So my bachan had already passed away, and it sounded kind of like a bachan. And the only person that would know her middle name is family.
Family, yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
My mom believes she talked to her mom in that house. How a bachan was in that
I was
house?
going to say, what's the Bashan doing in this corner house?
No idea, but there's something about maybe the feng shui of that house sitting there that made the thin layer between, the paranormal and real life, that thin that people could talk and spirits were able to go in and out of that house.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy said he saw his dad was coming for him there. So I never believed in feng shui and
Yeah.
that, but that story,
Okay.
That's
Interesting.
creepy.
That is crazy, Julia.
Yeah.
There's just some stuff that you can't explain.
right?
Yeah.
Can't.
But it's like, is that also, so it's bad luck to be on the corner,
Mhm.
right? So
Terrible
you
luck.
have the husband passing and then
Fuck.
the boy obviously getting hit by a
Yeah.
car.
Yep. And those are
Okay.
the only in it. So then she was by herself.
Oh.
Wow.
Moving.
I think, Maykay, when you talk about sometimes some of the we're not alone stuff and aliens and
Yeah.
spirits and ghosts or whatever,
Yeah.
we always joke because you always say keep an open mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think if you're someone that is very open to the
Mhm.
possibility of spirits and those that have passed on, not saying that you become a medium, but
Right.
maybe you become
More
maybe,
sensitive.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you become more sensitive to it. And you
Mhm.
become almost a pathway where
Yeah.
whatever's out there feels free to move around in your wherever you live
Hmm.
because you have an open mind. And maybe
It's
you see them, maybe
interesting.
hear them. I don't know.
Right. And tend to inherit it too. I think we all have the intuitiveness, but some are more open to it. Some are afraid because of their religion, like, oh, that's the devil.
Yeah.
And some are more open to intuition. Prayer is good. Let me just say that. It has nothing to do with what your religion is, but you can pray for protection.
Yeah.
And I have lived that. And very quickly, because we need to hear Jason's story. Years ago, in our family home where I raised my son, and my soulmate had passed on, had died. And I was out of town on a trip, and my neighbor was watching the house. And when I came home, they said the police kept calling and coming to the house because the house kept calling 911. And, well, no one's home. How could the house call 911? And finally, the cable people came out, and he says, well, you have a ghost.
That
What?
was their
That's what
explanation.
they said?
What?
That's it?
Swear to God, can't make it up.
Like you said that with a
That's
straight face.
911. It had to do with the modem or something was calling all these numbers.
What?
And he said, I can't find anything wrong, ma'am. You have a ghost.
Just that quick to the explanation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it would happen too when I was home when it thunderstormed.
Mm.
Wow.
Let's do with anyway. Jason, what's your story?
Yeah. I don't have a story of of ghosts or anything, but we were talking about I sometimes you can feel maybe the presence,
Mhm.
the spirit, whatever you want to call it, of former family members or close friends that have passed on. My wife's really good about noticing certain pictures, right? So we have family pictures over the years, over the decades, and in the place of where the missing family member would be standing that has since passed on, maybe it's a grandparent, great-grandparent, aunt, uncle, whatever, there's like a little orb. And so I don't know if you look at pictures, it almost looks like a solar flare.
see it.
It looks like a little white
Yeah.
something floating. Maybe it looks like it just got in the lens, in the way of the camera or something. But there are times where, whether it's video or pictures, and my wife will be like, oh my God, look, there's an orb. And then when you start looking at it, you're like, a what? And then when you look at it, you go, oh my God, that's where my grandmother, like if she was still alive, that's where she would be standing.
Interesting.
And so sometimes we have that happen to us, and we'll see that in a picture. And then sometimes you'll go back to the picture and it's not there.
What?
I don't know how to explain that. So it's not like I could pull it up with my camera roll and go, I'm telling you, last time I looked at it, it was there. Now it's not there.
Okay,
But anyway,
that
so
is
that's
freaky.
sometimes a thing, or I'll have my grandmother, I was at elementary school when she passed, but she used to have bird feeders, and cardinals, red birds, were her favorite.
Yeah.
And so there's times today when I see a red bird or a card, like we've got a bird feeder in the back, and we don't see a lot of red ones often. But when I do, and if it's there more than 5 or 10 seconds, and I'm in the backyard, I feel my grandmother.
Yeah.
So it's those little moments, things that you have connection with your friends and family that aren't here anymore. Whether it's a butterfly,
Yeah,
whether it's
I've
a
heard the butterfly.
yeah, or it's a something. You're like, you feel it. You feel like they're there, smiling, and hopefully, in a better place.
Yeah.
Yes, and I find feathers.
Ooh.
My
Good one.
soulmate who died will leave me feathers.
Oh wow!
Yeah, not in a long time, but they're right after we passed, feathers everywhere.
Well, now you said it, I bet you, watch. There's going to be a feather that appears soon. I feel like now you've got it out
I
there.
think you're right.
Like
You're right.
that's the way it is.
It is the way
Look,
it
we're going to squeeze in one more quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about whether you should go out looking for ghosts and how you feel about people who look for paranormal activity, or whether you're like, nah, I'm gonna leave it alone.
Don't invite that in my life.
There we go. We'll be back with more Morning Edition right after this.
Okay, here we go. Welcome back. It's been I've had chill bumps pretty much this whole Morning Edition version today, because we've been talking about spirits and ghosts and things that may be haunted, memories. And this is your fault. You started this.
did.
You started it. You're gonna finish it.
Yeah.
Are there places near in the Carolinas? Let's start here, that are haunted or creepy.
That I know about personally, I can tell you.
Ooh.
Okay.
The Grove Park Inn
Mm-hmm.
is known for the Pink Lady.
Oh.
And I stayed there with my family one night. My mother said that she woke up in the middle of the night and she thought her daughter-in-law was walking through the room to use the bathroom. Why, I don't know. And then she realized there was no bathroom. It was the wall. And she went through the wall.
What?
The other
what?
place.
Say what?
The what?
Also, what is a pink lady?
The pink, somebody who died there years ago.
Okay.
I met
And it's up in
people-
Asheville.
Yeah.
Grove
Yeah.
Park Inn up in
Well,
Asheville.
people
Okay.
had seen her. The Grove Park Inn is very old and famous.
Yeah.
Then Lake Lure Inn and Spa.
Hmm.
I think they shot Dirty Dancing there, but anyway,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is haunted. Somebody was murdered there or whatever. But you need to go there. I don't have time to tell you the stories.
As we say in the news, give us a VO version. Give us a quick summary.
When we went there,
Yeah.
there's a haunted room you can rent where somebody died.
Uh-huh.
And things move around. And things
Oh no!
Did you see it move around?
No.
I didn't know. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to
Yeah,
stay
no,
there.
thank you.
I said, I
Nope.
don't want the haunted room.
I don't want that room. I want to
My
sleep.
photographer and editor, my camera crew stayed in another room. The next morning I get up, I go downstairs, and the woman at the desk says, "Did anything happen?" I said, "Oh, no. I said a prayer of protection."
Ah.
And she said, "That's what I did when I first came here." And I go, "What do you mean?" The first day she worked there at like 5 a.m, chairs in the lobby started moving, windows opened and closed, chandeliers rattled. She said she was so scared she went out and sat in front, waiting for the cook to come. And she said out loud, "I don't know what you are, but I need this job. Don't scare me. If you do it again, I'll never come back." Everything stopped for her. So she said a prayer of protection.
Come on.
Oh,
That's
come on.
wild.
True.
Oh man.
People have seen chairs move, windows open, chandeliers.
Nope.
It's
I would be out of there
that
so
place
fast.
is creepy. If you want to go, you can rent that murder room
I bet when they drained that lake after Hurricane
Oh, I don't
Helene, like at
wanna
night,
know.
can you imagine what that area with no water, the things they found,
No.
the stories and the.
I don't want to know. But it's like there's people that seek that out, right? Like so they probably charge a little bit of a premium for the haunted room,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm
And it's
sure.
it's a tourist thing, but if the spirits come to me in some sort of way, that's like okay, like I'd rather as long as you don't scare me or
Right.
whatever, like that's fine.
I'm in peace.
Yeah, come in peace, please. Like, like my dad being a butterfly or something like that, or the bird, or
Yeah.
that's fine. But
Yeah.
I'm not going to seek these things out.
Yeah.
Like the people that go to
No.
old, like
Mm-mm.
insane asylums
Yep.
or like
Oh,
weird
yeah.
houses and they like spend the night there. No.
No.
I don't even like walking the dogs outside in the dark.
I don't know
Like,
if you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go spend the night
I don't know if you guys believe this, and maybe I watched too many scary movies as a kid, but I believe like you can get haunted. Like they will
Yeah.
attach themselves to
Yes.
You can invite it.
Right.
Yeah, you can.
If you keep on looking, and like even though
They're going to find
Nope.
you.
but like
Nope.
even like the Ouija board, like
Yeah.
do not open
I'm
up
not gonna
any
play with it.
portals or go to any haunted
agree.
places because like oh you want to find out, okay,
come with you.
No.
right,
Yeah.
we'll haunt you. You want to
Yeah.
get scared
No.
because they're looking for souls to torment.
Yeah.
Oh.
Could not.
Bad
I mean,
ones, the bad ones. I think there are good spirits and evil spirits.
I agree.
Mhm.
I think
I
there's
think
like
there's both.
obviously the big difference, like
Yeah.
the Conjuring movies and like
Mhm.
the I can't think of the Conjuring, right, where they have a bunch of those. That I believe in that.
do you guys ever get
Yeah.
chills?
Yeah.
Like so you heard of like animals, right? When they do that, it's like them shaking off a bad feeling or something like that.
Mhm.
And so I believe sometimes when you're near something where your body's like, and you ever get a random chill,
Yeah.
That's your body's reaction. Like,
Like
red
right now.
flag warning.
Yep.
Yeah. Red
Like, I
flag
gotta go.
warning.
mhm,
let
bad
me-
vibes.
Can I say
Bye-bye.
this?
Yes.
Let me say this real quick.
Go for it.
In my We Are Not Alone,
Mm-hmm.
talked to someone who said that people who tend to be alcoholics or drug addicts or really down on their luck or sick tend to be more open to spirits. Now, why do you think they call alcohol spirits? Because when you get drunk or a little out of control,
See
you're
things?
open for spirits to come into you. I know that sounds
Oh,
weird.
wow.
Why do they call alcohol spirits?
Because they make you spirited.
Make you see things, or
I
like
don't
you
know.
said, maybe
But
it
I've never
does.
thought about it before.
It reduces that meter in your head that says, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
It can't be real.
Yeah.
There we go.
It's true.
For Morning Edition, Make A Beeler,
Oh.
Jason Harper, Eddie Satowski. Guys, let us know if you believe in ghosts. We'll be back with another Morning Edition. And as always, you can catch us Monday through Friday, 4 to 10 a.m. Happy Halloween.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.